not for publication. All right, hey Mike, this is my 65 Restomod Mustang Coyote swap. So I'm happy with the look of everything. It's still in primer, but I'm not super worried about that. Just on the outside, it's got 3-inch Maier Racing flares in the front and the back. Those are great. Fit some nice rubber underneath them. Under the hood, this is a 2012 Mustang GT Coyote. Most of the parts to help this motor run are from Power by the Hour. So you'll see this is a Power by the Hour intake. This is a Power by the Hour harness. Power by the Hour supplied the radiator, the ECU, which is mounted over here in this corner, the oil catch cans, the all this stuff is PBH provided as well. Also the accessory drive, the whole front accessory drive is their Power by the Hour speed drive. So the alternator here is from PBH. The throttle body replacement is from PBH. The AC compressor and the power steering pump, which is over here, are all Power by the Hour components. For fuel delivery, we did an Aeromotive system. So the Aeromotive pressure gauge is here. We ran braided steel lines, you know, straight from the tank. I cut all those brand new, so we didn't use any old fuel lines. Was running great for a while until we started having issues. We can talk about that more in the trunk. For brakes, these are all Wilwood systems. So we have Wilwood brake and clutch master cylinders up here, or I'm sorry, reservoirs up here, and the master cylinders are underneath. That's about it up here. The steering, the whole front suspension system is the Heidts Super Ride 2 suspension system. So that's, you know, removing these shock towers on both sides. We replaced the K-member to support the motor and all of the suspension, the coilover suspension that's in here. The IFS is all from Heidts, including the sway bar, the power steering rack, and the steering column that uses the stock steering column down here. We also did have an issue with the exhaust. So it's running Doug's long tube headers. There was an issue with using the incorrect bolts on the block on the headers, and there was an exhaust leak for a little while. I believe that's been cleared up, but you guys might want to check that in the data when you're running it. All right, so inside the car, we've got that Wilwood system. It's a reverse swing system since the push rod for the master cylinders didn't have enough room to clear the block or the head inside the engine bay. So both the clutch and the brake pedal are reverse swing. We've got an OEM accelerator pedal there, and all of the mounting here is custom. So if it's not to standard, feel free to let me know and we can make some adjustments. Like I said, the steering replacement stuff is within the column is from Heidts, but we've also added a quick release from Motion Raceworks to the end here, so I can pull the steering wheel out. The gauges are Dakota digital. There's a fuse box underneath the dash that runs those. We've also got our MT82 transmission with a short throw shifter on it. I would like to replace that with a direct mount because, as you can see, it's mounted to the floor a little janky here, and it's not very tight. So if I pull this out into neutral, it's not super tight, but even in gear, there's a lot of play here. So we'd like to kind of tighten that up a little bit. The car is caged as well, with harness bar back here. Cage runs all the way into the trunk. I've also got this divider panel in here between the trunk and the cab, which is super noisy, and I'd love to get welded in permanently so it's not quite so noisy. Obviously, you need a new package tray because this is open to the trunk as well, and we're getting some, you know, some gas fumes from the tank back there. So back here, you'll see the Aeromotive replacement tank. This is their 340 liter per hour fuel pump tank system. The pump came pre-installed inside the tank, but we're having issues. As you can see, I've got gas running out of the fuel pump, so that needs to be resealed. I have a reseal kit coming for that, so I'll include that when the car comes over to you. But we have issues with this. This is not running well. I'm not 100% sure why. It was running okay, but it was leaking gas. So we called Aeromotive and they said, your tank's getting pressurized. So my guy put this pressure relief valve here on the filler neck to allow air to escape and to be pulled in. Unfortunately, I think we now have air in the fuel lines, but that's just a guess. So I would love it if you could really take a look at this. Something is not right in the fuel system. I was notified that this gas cap is not a vented cap, and that might help resolve the venting issue. So we're open to replacing the gas cap and filling this hole if that's, you know, the best option. Obviously, we got the battery mounted back here. There was a ground issue with the car, so I have tried to make some adjustments with the grounding in the engine bay, but would love it if, you know, you guys could voltage check everything and see, you know, what the real issue is going on here, because I think we still have some electrical, and when I start up, you'll see we think we still have some electrical issues. There's a quick car kill switch here, so you can kill all the power to the car or flip it on, and it works great. So super happy with how that works. So let me jump in and try to turn the car over so you can hear some of that electrical issue. All right, so inside the car, give the fuel pump a second. Good startup for her. Usually there's a lot of turning the car over at very low crank speed. That seems to happen mostly when after she's been running for a second. If you turn her off and then try to re-crank, she doesn't seem to want to crank back up very well. Some of those fuel issues that we've been seeing, I think, are I have a hard time explaining them. If you can see the fuel pressure gauge here, it's currently reading about 40 psi. The last time I had her running, it was reading 100 psi. So just a lot of inconsistency there with how well she's running. You can hear that divider back there. But she rips when she runs. She's just not very reliable right now. So that's the car. Hope you can help us out.